Okay, girls, let's continue. So in this one, we have two-step equations. So I'm going to start here with A. So it says 2y plus 4 equals 12. Remember that when we are undoing what has happened to y, we have to use order of operations of BIDMAS in the opposite order. So I'm going to write it here. BIDMAS. So just remember that addition and subtraction is done together, same importance. And then we have division and multiplication, which also come together. And then indices and brackets. So now we're going to do it in this order. So it means that the first thing that we have to do is addition and subtraction first. And this one is first. This one is second. This one is third. And this one is fourth. Wonderful. So if I'm going to undo this one, the first thing that I have to do is take away 4 both sides. So I do take away 4 here and then take away 4 here. And I can cancel this up. And then I get that 2y is equal to 8. And then I'm going to divide both sides divided by 2. Because that's the second step, division and multiplication here. Divided 2, and I can cancel these 2 and these 2, and I get that y is equal to 4. And I'm going to encircle my answer. Wonderful. Let's do B. I'm going to do it here. Okay, so I have 6 take away x is equal to 8. Okay, so what happens here is that the x has the negative sign, agree? And we don't like having pronumerals with the negative sign. So what we're going to do is in the same way that we can add or subtract or multiply or divide on both sides numbers, we can also add, multiply, divide on both sides pronumerals. So we're going to do that first. I'm going to do plus x both sides. And if I do plus x both sides, I can cancel this up, and then I get that 6 is equal to 8 plus x. And then I can take away the 8 that is adding to this x. So I take away 8 and take away 8. And 6 take away 8 is going to be equal to negative 2. Is equal to x. I'm going to write here because there is another way that you could have done this. So you could have said 6 take away x is equal to 8. And you could have said, okay, this 6 is adding both sides. So I'm going to add both sides 6. Sorry that I got the sorry, yes, because I'm adding here 6. I have to subtract 6. I was like, why am I not going to get to the same answer? Good. As I told you girls, I'm not thinking straight today. So 6, this goes away, and then I have negative x in here equals 8 take away 6 is equal to 2. But then I have that this one is a negative x, and we don't want to have negative x because that's confusing. So I could have said something like, I'm going to divide by -1, both sides. Because this negative x is like if I was multiplying by -1. So I'm going to divide both sides divided by -1. And if I do that, then I can cancel this one because this one will become a positive, and then I get that x equals -2. And I get to the same answer. But a lot of people find this way confusing, but I just want to show that you get to the same answer. So either if you decide to, as soon as you can see that you have a negative, that your x is your pronumeral is negative, you make it positive, or you could solve the whole thing, and then if at the end you have the negative x, then you can divide by -x by -1 both sides, and then get to your answer, whatever you find easier. Let's do C. So with C I have x over 3, take away 4 equals 2. Take away 4 equals 2. Okay, so using BitMath, first I have to do this bit here. So I'm going to add 4 both sides. When I do that, I can cancel this up, and I then get that x over 3 is equal to 6. And then I'm dividing the x by 3, so I'm going to times by 3 both sides. Noticing when I'm multiplying by 3, I'm putting it in the denominator to make it very clear that I'm canceling this one by this one, and then times 3. And then I get that x is equal to 18. Beautiful. And the last one of those says 3x divided by 5. So I'm going to do it here. 3x divided by 5 is equal to 6. Okay. I'm going to solve this one also in 2 ways. The first one is going to be in 2 steps. So 2 steps. First, I'm going to multiply by 5 both sides. I can cancel this one and this one and get that 3x is equal to 30. Why am I writing in green? My goodness. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 3. Cancel this one and this one, and I get that x is equal to 10. Okay, I'm going to write it down again here, or another method. And I want you to see something. If you can understand what I'm going to explain on this side, I want you to do it in this way, because it's going to make your life easier. Okay, so again, d 3x take away 5 is equal to 6. So I just want to show you something. I can say that I'm multiplying x by a fraction. Do you agree that this is the same as having 3 over 5 times x equals 6? It's exactly the same thing that I have here. So I can see 3 over 5 as a fraction that is timesing x. So what I can do, if this is a fraction and fraction is treated as any other number, what I can do on both sides is divide by that fraction. And how do we divide by a fraction? We multiply by the inverse. Remember how we do a stay, change, flip? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to multiply. So the inverse operation, what I'm saying is that the inverse operation of multiplying by a fraction is multiplying by its inverse. So if I multiply this one, I'm going to do it here. If I multiply this one by 5 over 3, and I do the same on the other side, times 5 over 3, then I can cancel the 5 and the 5 and the 3 and the 3. Do you see that? And I end up with only x on this side. And on the other side, I have 6 times 5 over 3. I'm not solving it yet because I want to show you, like in this case, it's very simple, but sometimes you get numbers that are a little bit more complicated. So I want to show you that here you can cancel up the 6 divided by 3 is 2, and 3 divided by 3 is 1. So I get that x is equal to 10. It took me longer to do it this time because I was explaining it, but if you learn to do it in this way, that the inverse operation of multiplying by a fraction is multiplying by the inverse fraction, then you're going to save a lot of time solving this type of questions. Okay, I'll continue in the next video.